12 Chapter 1. I was transferred in a certain day of a weekday. I was in my room sitting in front of the computer. I'm not a student having a long vacation, and neither a worker who is resting in weekdays due to being absent at work. I'm not in a night shift or in paid holidays, and I'm not even a house husband. I have more than 20 years and I don't have any occupation. After several years since I graduated, it didn't cross his mind even once about wanting to work in some place or study something. In short, Eiji Choukai, I'm a neat foo. Even if I browse through every website, this has already tired me. I throw my body on my bed. When I think again about it, I realize that I was a neat for a long time. What started this was the inability to obtain employment. Even if I apply to any company, how many times I've failed in every interview after interview. And not only in some company entrance test, but in thing called stress interview, in that my spirit was shattered. My heart of glass was getting more and more damage, and at last it was smashed up. I abandoned the job hunting. It's not like if I can't do it this year then I wouldn't be able to do it throughout all my life. It's good if I do it when the circumstances improve, that's what I told to my family. Luckily or unlucky, the economic situation of my family allows them to feed me if it was only my food expenses. I was able to live as parasite of my own family. 13 And like it was expected, I was standing here as I wasn't able to find work even after many years. This lazy way of living is comfortable. I don't feel like getting out after being totally immersed in it. I don't work, I don't move my feet to look for a job, and I don't receive education as well. That's why, right now I'm filling all the requirements to be completely a neat. From now on, what I am going to do? Lying on the bed, I muttered like it was somebody else's problem. I felt an unexpectedly and intense sudden gust as if was an attack, and then, I was in a white space. I was certain that I was lying on the bed of my room. Here, where is this? Ah, you have awoken. When I notice, even though I don't know what happened, I find myself in a white space. I was looking around restlessly in this white space where there is nothing. And like I didn't notice her, a woman was standing there. The one who talked surely was this person. Because there is no one else. When I stand up, I look again at this woman. Pink hair. Are you using a wig or have you dyed it? No, I don't feel that from her. She has a pretty color with a natural feeling. As for her hairstyle, her hair is hanging and tied at the sides of her face. When she moves her eyes from the hair on her face, I feel extremely strong-willed features on her face. 14 And then, her clothes. What about those clothes? I don't know if it would be okay to say it. Her white clothes were wrapped around her, like the people from the ancient Greece were dressed, and I'm certain these people dressed up with something like a toga, but if I'm careless I will be pushed out to say everything, and because it is transparent, it is indeed wonderful. It's splendid. However, towards a neat who had no contact with the opposite sex, this is really stimulating. Excuse me, are you there? Are you awake? Yes. I'm awake and I didn't see anything, yes. I didn't ask you if you're seeing something or not. Rather, I'm talking so please pay attention. Yes. Again, I turned my face towards the direction of the voice. After having replied I calmed down a little, and even more after breathing deeply. That's right, this is not the time to think things like if I see it or not. Where I am. You know something. I'm certain that I was in my house, so what is happening? Well, to put it in simple words, you were blown off from your world, Blown off. By the way, I am a goddess, the goddess Rux. Horomu. From your point of view, it is a different world. I'm the goddess from such world, Horomu. Nice to meet you, human of Jazza, a different world. After the self-introduction of the self-proclaimed goddess, she explained the situation to me. According to her, it seems that there is a different world to the world in which I lived. And to keep the world in a normal condition, the two worlds need to 15 circulate from time to time something called spirit. Otherwise, it will rot like a river where the flow was stopped, it will become something not good. In that case, the boundary of both worlds will have a temporary hole, and sometimes, the ones who were involved, the people or things will be swallowed up by that hole. And if that happens, they would go to the other world. Hey. Wait a second, so you are saying that I will be swallowed up as replacement for that spirit? That's the correct answer. I didn't believe, but there are people like you, hey, don't say, hey. Please, return me to my place right now. I don't want to go to that kind of world where I don't understand anything at all. My bed and my computer are a necessity for me. But the goddess Rux, putting both hands together with a paw, bowed. I'm sorry, but that is impossible. Impossible. Originally, a border is something that it shouldn't be open at all between both worlds, and I'll be in trouble if the world is mixed even more. But if I leave it in this way, it will rot, so I don't have any other choice but to open it a bit, and it is better if I don't open it too often. However, I think that is also necessary for me to return, because the whole world is at stake. Even to open it for a sole person, it is impossible. Think about it. Moreover, because the world has a whole is that I have to use more energy, and even if I want to open it, I can't for the moment. 16. The goddess shocks her head without missing a second. I want to say because of who is that I have to be dragged into this, but it is true that when you compare the two worlds, a person is light as a feather. Moreover, I'm a existence even more light than dust, ha ha ha. I feel like I fell into a masochistic mood, and it has been darkening gradually. Even if I, who is like a parasite, need disappears, it is difficult to think that the world is going to be troubled. And then, the goddess looked down at my face. Excuse me, you don't have to be so depressed. Sorry, it would have been better if I had thought a better way to tell you this, yes. It's unexpected, but it can be that this goddess, it is a good person. Even I'm not a demon. I thought about it completely. You thought about it. What did you thought? When I raised my head, the goddess, with an expression of being totally relieved, nodded. And then, she folded her arms and once more she had a confident face. I can't return you to your world, but instead I can make so you don't have any inconvenience in living there. This is the moment, listen and be amazed. According to the goddess, the other world Horomu has things like magic and skills. The people in Horomu devotes oneself to study so to wake oneself potential, to awaken a class. And by polishing this class, you can 17 obtain skills. And using those skills helps you in the various settings of your daily life. Normally each person only has one class, and also there is no lack of people who didn't awake their class. The ones who have 2 classes are even more rare. If you have 3, then you are a worldwide genius. With her power, the goddess is going to let me add Kier 3 classes that I like. I could become an Olympic athlete, scholar, and pianist. That's amazing. It is easy to pull out the latent potential of a person with my power. That's why if you have that latent power, even if you are in an unknown world, you would be able to live without problems. How magnificent could be that? Saying that, she puts air of importance, then Rux presses her index finger against my nose. She is the type that has annoying reactions, this goddess. There is also a compound skill compound. I understand, depending on how 2 classes are well matched, I can learn new skills. For example, with the swordsman and a mage, a magic sword, oh. You are sharp. It's like what you say, it is an area which not an ordinary person can reach with their classes. When you reach that place at last, you will have acquired a super strong compound skill. Nevertheless, where did you learn that? I have read a manual. Of course, that is a joke, but if we are talking about skills and classes, then this is my strong point. It's not for nothing that I was an indoor NEET for many years. The goddess looked slowly at my surroundings, feeling admiration. 18 For me, while observing me. Being observed while she changes her angles, it is a feast for my eyes, a feast. But at that moment, I start thinking seriously. I don't have any other choice but to go to a different world. If that's the case, I have to go at least with the best possible conditions. Let's work hard in choosing them. I'd be lying if I said that I don't have any attachment towards my former world, but maybe I was wishing for such opportunity from the bottom of my heart. An opportunity to take a new step towards my stagnating days. Whatever it might be, that's why. Rux, give my class fast, I will make the best combination possible. Ooh, you're so greedy, this person. I like you to be the selfish type, it helps me greatly and it is easy to understand. Then I will begin to search the possibilities. Ophagy, this will hurt, like a electric shock, but if you are a man, then you will endure it. When saying so, she holds up her hand in my chest, and from her palm light overflows, covering my body with it. Ooh, it is really like the power of a god. It doesn't matter how I see it, I'm older than her, but well, she is a god, and even a man like me can see that her true age is closely to that of a grandmother. You said something. No, I didn't say anything, I felt like I heard something, but well, it doesn't matter. Good, I found it. The light disappears with the goddess's words, and similar to the windows of the games, an image appeared in the air. I understood. 19 Here are the possibilities of my class, the magic and even the skills. I will be glad if I can get used to them easily. First, at the top of the window, what was displayed as parasite, such words. It doesn't have a good sound, but even if I have that possibility, it is not like I have to choose it, so there is not problem. There is even a considerably big blank space in the window. From now on they will keep coming, and it will be good if I chose something more stylish and helpful. It's time, choose. Next to the window, which has the flashy blank space, was the expressionless face of the goddess. Even if you tell me to choose, there is only one option and nothing more. There is nothing aside of Parasite. If I remember correctly, you said to choose from all the possibilities that I liked. From among all, the goddess awkwardly declared. From among all. This is your potential. It's a joke, right? The goddess shakes her head. And together her hair also shakes. In this white world, the pink hair looks very pretty. Wait. 20, at first you said I could pick 3. So that means that usually there are more than 3. Surely the usual is to have 5, or even 6, if not it would not be possible to choose. And despite that, I only have one possibility. There has to be something wrong. Yes, from the people who were dragged up, they have roughly 30 talents more or less, more than I thought. So if the normal is to have 30 and I only have 1, then my talent is not awful. This is really bad, super bad, and the opposite is also bad. That my vocabulary is so poor is also bad. To be honest, I was also surprised. That exists a man with so little potential. In similar way, the goddess was also greatly perplexed. And to think that I thought that I was a little decent man. Ahahaha. That's right. With your powers is not possible to give at least 2 more abilities. That's impossible, an immediate response. There are some things that even a god can't do. If you had a little bit more of talent, then I would have been able to draw some more talents. But you don't have any talent. Not even a little, nothing. No matter how many times you pull out 0, it will be always 0. 21 I lost my words. I was certain that I can no longer be helped. If even a god cannot do something about my talent, then what can I do about it? She grips her fist firmly and said strongly. It doesn't matter how much you bet on, 0 will always be 0, it's already good, don't say it anymore. Sigh. It doesn't matter how hard I struggle, I don't have more than one possibility. Moreover, a parasite equals parasitism, it's really what I am. Despite being the truth, I don't get angry. Well, it is like that, let's bravely give up. And look, you are man, if you think because I'm a man I will endure everything, then you're making a big mistake, but, well, if you think about it, it is better to have a talent than nothing. She said, that if you have at least one class you will not pass a bad time. At least I could get one class, and even if I'm average, I will be able to survive in a way or another. That's right, what I have to do is to think about the future. But well, that's right. I don't have any other choice but to do it. Good, Rux. Please pull out the class called Parasite, well said. This is the first time I see this class, so I don't know what will happen, but here we go. I felt as if Rux said that without hesitation, but without being able to stop her. Again she placed her hand on my chest. Then the soft light wrapped me. I felt like something was arising from inside of my body, the light was becoming more and more strong, and the white space was 22 becoming more and more dark, and then, the white was died completely. 23 Chapter 2. The other world Horomu. When I noticed, I was in the outskirts of some forest. When I looked to my surroundings, I noticed that behind me there were only trees standing side by side, and at front extremely long grasslands expanding upwards on the road. This is the other world Horomu. At that moment, a dragonfly of over 60 centimeters of length and with 6 wings, while flapping its wings vividly, flew towards me. This is a different world, this place. Now that I reached this point, I don't have other choice but to do it. After I resolve myself, I get up. But at that time, I noticed that a letter and a bag had fallen on my feet. In the letter read, it is soon you wake up. Rux was written. Good morning, Eiji. I'm sure there are many things that you don't know, so I will teach you about Horomu. First, you have to pray in your mind to see your status. You've even written a letter for me. Now that you mention it, I was told many things about the transfer, but I didn't hear anything about what will happen after that. Let's read it seriously. Let me see, to see the status I only have to pray in my mind. Status, status, status. Ooh. Something came. When praying, an image appeared in the air. And there, this was written. 24 Name Eiji equals Choukai Class Parasite 1 Stamina 25 Strength 20 Defense 30 Magic 40 Magic Power 35 Magic Resistance 45 Agility 40 Skill Parasite UWAA. It's true, my class is a parasite. When I look again at my class, one think it is really cruel for my class to be parasite. Even I want to argue that I have at least a fifth of a soul. My name is, well, it is simple. The order of the name and how it is written has to be the style of this world. What follows is the ability. I don't understand it very well. Even if I see the numbers, I can't say that somehow I understand the general level. But what I can say that I understood somehow is that my magic specs are better than my body specs. Of course I don't have stamina, I'm a neat belonging to the indoor faction, a frail child. What could be the parasite skill? It's the same for the class, but I don't understand very well the effect. Just like the time when I tried to open the status, I try to pray in my mind on the ability called Parasite, and then my right hand started to shine. Oh, something came out. 25 Even after not knowing what to do about my shining hand, the light of my hand eventually disappeared. What is happening? Even if I try to pray, it didn't appear any explanation about the skill. What type of skill I would be able to learn in the future or even the details about it, it seems that is useless, even I can't get to learn the minor details. Let's see, I know that is the skill of a parasite, and judging from the name, it has to have some type of parasitic effect. So that means, from what I understood, it is that I need to touch something with my shining hand to parasitize something, maybe. I don't understand what kind of situation I need to use this parasite thing, but I will try to use it if I find a person. If I say parasite, there are two type of impressions, the money ones and the one in the houses, that's why there is no meaning if it is not a person. After I thought for a while about the lowest definition possible, I kept reading the letter. Were you able to do it? In this world you will always be able to make visible your own ability. By the way, I'm sure you have realized, to use your ability or your space bag you only need to pray in your mind, that's why pray. But if you are not accustomed, you may use your voice. I left the space bag together with the letter, you can use it without reservation. I lower my glance to my feet and there it was, a small bag. After picking up the bag, I read the letter, and it seems to be a tool to store various things. When I try to peek inside, I realize that is like the outer space. It's like it were trying to swallow me up, it is scary. According to the explanation, if I want to know what it is inside I only need to pray and then it would be displayed to me like the status window. 26 And according to the letter, there are many drinks, food and even clothes stored there. Immediately, I put my hand in the bag, and then I start to pray about wanting to take out some clothes. Soon, I start to feel the texture of clothes in my palm, and what came out was clothes and shoes. Oh, this is convenient. This is the moment when I took notice that magic exists in this world. This seems to be really interesting, and so for the first time in a while I started to feel excited while I changed my clothes, and for the ones that I was wearing recently, they were stored in the bag. The displayed clothes has become something different. Not only letters, the images are also included. Ooh, this is useful. Were you able to use it properly? The contents of the bag are my offerings to you, so you don't have to worry and receive them without reservation, it is an extra service. That means, these are offerings. If she is a god, then it is natural to receive offerings, but yes, it is good to receive them. It's normal that the ones who were dragged up to this world can awake 3 classes, but Eiji only has only 1, that's why. Sorry greater than. But, I think you'll be fine one way or another, so please, don't be so discouraged. Because here is also a good place. She is a nice guy, this Rux. She even wrote this letter for me, and Rux isn't the one to blame but me, the one who have only 1 class, and because she thought I would have hard times ahead she gave me tools. In one way or another, she is worried about me. However, her writing is not very pretty. 27 After that, I began to read what's left of the letter, and when I reached the end, she ended it as follows. Then. Do your best, Eiji. I will act as a god should be and I will be watching over you. P.S. If you happen to see one of my shrines, give me a prayer of thanks. Because I'll be watching you. Oh, it is scary. Well, let's get going slowly. Even she said that this is a good place, I will fully enjoy it this world, and so, I took a step forward in this other world, Horomu. 28 Chapter 3. Main Road and the outskirts of Laurel. As soon as I left the forest, I came across the main road. I went walking to the left. On the way I got hungry, I took out a hard bread from the space bag and I started to eat it. Though I do not know the exact moment in which she placed it, it is possible to eat it normally. It seems that his bag works as storage to preserve food. This is useful. Even after walking for a while, I didn't have any problem, and in the end, I reached a town. If there is a main road, then that means that there is a town. It was closer than what I expected. My luck is good. It's good that I was not transferred to a desert, really. There are many stone buildings aligned side by side, and there is a road in which the ground was leveled. This townscape seems like the ones from the Middle Ages, the fantasy ones. There isn't asphalt or concrete. Walking in this type of scenery is interesting. I went rarely for a walk even in my former world, so to speak. I'm going to pretend that it doesn't bother me anymore at my age. At any rate, walking around the town, I continued exploring the looks of the town of this world. The traffic of the main street was so-so, their clothes were the same that I was wearing. Luckily, I didn't feel out of place. Something I'm curious about are the people who often are passing around me, having a sword in their waist, holding a spear, or wearing a helmet. According to the letter, not only skills and magic, it seems that also there exist in this world monsters and dungeons, and around here is a place where there are a considerable amount of 29 monsters. When you hear monsters or dungeons, you will get excited, but a nothing but a parasite and incompetent person like me, it is better if I don't meet many of them. By the way, it seems that as you defeat monsters, your class level will rise. And also there exist monsters made up of power in which it can be helpful for your class. There are a considerable number of shops facing the street. There are even street stalls. I tried as experiment buying something in one of those stalls. The price was 5 copper coins. The money here is copper coins, light copper coins, silver coins, light silver coins, gold coins, light gold coins. There exist 6 types. The light copper coin is worth 10 copper coins, the silver coin is 10 light copper coins, and the light silver coin is. Every coin is worth at least 10 times more. This was also written in the letter of Rux. Recently, the monetary offering is insufficient, I complained, saying together that there is not enough faith. In the letter was also written that I would be able to communicate with others, and it seems that there is not problem at all in reading or speaking. The price of the fruit, and all the others, I judge the price with the goods that other stalls were selling. Copper coin 20 yen, light copper coin 200 yen, silver coin 2000 yen, light silver coin 20,000 yen, gold coin 200,000 yen, light gold coin 2,030 yen, more or less this price. It's not like the prices of this world are tightly matched with the prices of my former world, but there it seems to be a difference of 1, 2, 3 times. What I have right now in my hands are 57 copper coins, 87 light copper coins, 37 silver coins, 6 light silver coins, and 1 gold coin. I have enough, so for the time being I will not have any problem living for enough time. But if I have to say otherwise, I will have no money after a while. I will be forced to do something to earn money, isn't right? But earning money seems to be very difficult. It is still okay if I do not think about it for the moment. Wandering around the town while displaying my thoughts of need, I understood to a certain extent the structure of the town. And about time, my stomach got hungry. This may be the right time. I want to experiment with my skills as quickly as possible. The only strength I have in this world. I entered comfortably into a restaurant. It might be time, there was a certain amount of people coming, it was crowded with people. It seems that I will be able to do it. I sat in an empty seat. I told my order to the waiter, and until my meal arrives I put my plan into practice. I start to pray, and my skill Parasite was activated. Unlike the last time, my hand was covered with light. It's likely that if I touch someone with my shining hand, that person will, with my Parasite. The parasitism will be put into action. If you speak about a typical need like Parasite, then is money. That 31 means that if I parasitism a guest which came here, somebody will pay for my lunch fees. Or in another meaning, they would give me money. I think so. If that's the case, I will be able to live without the preoccupation of not having money. This skill was perfectly made for me. Even if I say that, this is a quite awful idea. Now it is the time, let's make someone treat me the lunch. After being in high spirits for a moment, I calmed down. If you think about it, touching somebody could be really difficult. If a stranger suddenly touch you, it would be strange. I don't have other choice but to touch someone stealthily. But if the other party is a woman, I have the worry of being detained as a pervert. No, there is no difference if the other party is a man. Yes, I have no choice but to make it look like an accident. I look around the store, I have my eyes at the next table where there is a man eating alone. I left my seat while heading towards there. I'm sore. Why, clerk San, an additional. Wah. While trying to call the clerk to stop, my body loses its balance on purpose, and like I were trying to support me, I put my hand on the back of that man. That man looks toward my face, glaring me. I'm sorry, I have interrupted you launch. It seems that I would fall. I bow with an apologetic face, and the man, after a HMPF snorted, the man returns to his meal. All looks good. I was able to touch him. 32 The golden light of my hand which was placed in his back connected with him. This is surely the proof of parasitism. If no one is saying anything, it means that only I can recognize the skill. It may be the proof of parasitize someone. And to the clerk who came, I told him that I liked my food roasted, so I asked him to do it more burned, and then I returned to my table. After the meal is normally finished, the infested man stopped moving. Oh, he got up from his seat. Now, waiting to see how it is going to move, suddenly the man went to pay my lunch. Of course not, hey. It's more, he is leaving the store. Wait a moment. I finished paying my bill with great haste, and then I went after the traces of the man, and after I found the man, I chased him. This is strange, what is happening? So far, the thread of light that is extending from the back of the man has yet to disappear, that's why the skill has to be active. But nothing is happening. For now I can't do anything but to observe the situation. After taking distance, I keep following the man. The man continues walking for a long time on the street. In between a shop and a street that we happened to pass not long ago, the man passed through and I followed him. After pursuing the man for a reasonable distance, the man at last has gone out of the town. And moreover, he didn't take the big main road, he went towards a roadless place. It's only that there was almost no grass, the ground was exposed. It was like the ground was trampled down by many people. 33 I was worried that he would found me in the town, but because there were many people going there excluding the man, I didn't feel out of place. But the quality of people wandering around the town and the ones going this place are completely different. Everyone is equipped with weapons. There are many people who were dressed like a warrior, others like magicians, a variety of people, but what everyone has in common is that they are ready to fight. Not only here and there, but everyone. Can be that I have come to a bad place. Me. I'm trying to go to someplace where a need doesn't have to go. While I decide if I keep thinking about it or if I turn around now, following the traces of the man, I ended up crossing a small hill. Suddenly from the grasslands, from the light brown ground, something came out in an exposed area. And in the center of that place, the entrance to an underground was opening its mouth widely, inviting me to enter. It may be possible that this is a dungeon. When I was walking lazily in that town called Laurel, I heard it by chance that the dungeon called Payan was close to the town. I'm sure this must be. I can see at glance at the underground place that there is a deep and large hole without end, and people equipped with weapons were going to that place. Given the current situation, I'm sure that I'm not wrong. The man whom I was following gets excited in front of the hole and then he entered inside. I reluctantly gave up and I continued following him. And as one would expect, I'm not going to approach a place where there are monsters. Until I don't understand my power and theirs, I don't have the courage to go. 34 It can't be helped, I began to wander around the surroundings of the dungeon. I really think that I look like a suspicious person. But I don't want to return without having done something. But if you tell me to do something, I will be troubled. While I think in that way, I observe the people who goes into the dungeon and the injured ones who came out. For a while I go wandering around the proximity of the dungeon. Class Parasite 1-2 and suddenly, without previous notice, the screen which I was already used to see appeared in front of me. 35 Chapter 4. Leveling up the Parasite Class A. What's this? It seems that my level is going up. Did I do something? I opened my status window in panic. Name Eiji Choukai Class Parasite 2 Stamina 26 Strength 20 Defense 30 Magic 41 Magic Power 35 Magic Resistance 41 Agility 40 Skill Parasite. I'm sure that my level has gone up. Class Parasite 2-3 When I was thinking about what is happening to me, my level has gone up again. I'm serious that I haven't done anything. Seriously, what is happening? I'm certain that as you go defeating monsters, the power of these existences will transform into experience and your class level will rise up, but I have never done anything to these monsters. It's possible that 36 I turn my neck towards the labyrinth entrance. It's possible that I have already understood the true colors of this skill. I didn't defeat monsters and I didn't go towards the place where the monster are. But, isn't true that there is one? There is a person who is connected to me, and that person is in a place where the monsters are coming out. While I observe the labyrinth, I sit cross-legged in the grass. And while I wait quietly, it happened again. Class Parasite 3-4, it's correct. This is, I'm earning experience from the infected person. The parasite skill allows me to level up. It's amazing. If I have this, then I can level up my class without having to work. And far from have to be together, I might be able to become stronger with only sleeping in a faraway place. Unexpectedly, this skill, which it is of my preference, it is rising my tension. And while I sat down in the comfortable grass feeling extremely good, the display has appeared again. Class Parasite 4-5 skill Parasite X2 acquired a new skill came out. This means that, as the name mentions, I can use the skill 2 times at the same time. It didn't cross my mind to use my skill twice at the same time, that's why I thought it was only possible to use it in one person at a time. But 37 now I can use it in 2 persons at the same time. If there are 2, it is natural for my experience to multiply. This is wonderful. Immediately I headed towards the entrance of the dungeon. And since it was the perfect time as people were going into the dungeon, I pretend that I stumbled upon them when we passed each other. When we collide, I touch the other party with the back of my hand. Ah, I'm sorry, haha, you are tired from exploring the labyrinth. Be careful, the man with the warrior outfit said lightly, and he headed towards the dungeon. In his back it was the mark of light. Success. After I took some distance from the dungeon, I start to concentrate, and then 2 threads of light appear on my hand. Though it seems like it would disappear if I were to extend it a bit more. But surely, without doubt, those 2 people were parasitized. And as a proof, after a while, my parasite's class level went up to level 6. Although I thought that as my level rise, it would become slow to level up, but it must be because I now have the experience of 2 persons that I'm yet leveling up fast. But even so, I think it has become really fast. They must be fighting with powerful monsters. Well, I don't understand what is happening inside. Other than that, let's test something. I turn my back to the labyrinth, and I head towards Laurel Town. It's because there is something I now want to try. It's not bad to want to know more about my greatest strong point, which is the only skill I have right now. 38, and that is, whether or not the skill is effective even if I'm away from the objective. If the parasite skill will work even if I'm far away from them, or I need to be in a certain distance, or if after some time the effect will stop working. First I'm going to take distance, and that's why I'm returning to the city, but even so there is no sign that it will disappear. At last I return to Laurel Town, and the parasitism of the 2 still remains. It seems that it continues even over long distances. This is an extremely good result. Even if I'm in the town, the effect of the skill that I placed on those 2 persons who went to the labyrinth, it will not lose its effect. Now, let's go to examine it more. I found a vacant land, and while I was taking a carefree nap mixed among the townspeople, I checked my skill. And as a result, I understood. First, when I want to confirm to whom I've infected, I only need to think in the appearance of the person I have infected as projected in my eyes. Second, if I pray to stop the parasitism, I can stop it. And I don't have to be necessarily in contact with them, I can cut the thread in any moment I want. But it was impossible to infect them again immediately. It's likely that I need to touch them in the same way as before. Third, I can only parasitize up to 2 people. When 2 people are parasitized, even if I try to use more power, I can't. However, if I release a person, I can use it again, so I can change the host as I please. It's a skill specialized in parasitizing other people to level up your class. It is a nasty class. While I was examining the skill, my level has gone up again. Even my 39 level is now 7. If I continue in this way, in a blink of an eye I will become strong. My hope has emerged. My motivation has emerged too. Now I have the feeling that I can live in this different world. After I have examined the skill until I was satisfied, the day was beginning to get dark, so I went to look for an inn. Because there are many people aiming to the labyrinth, there are numerous inns. That's why finding an available room in an inn was really easy. I have immediately paid for 7 days of lodging. The room to which I was led was not so wide, but that everything was in order, and also that it looked clean made me happy. Does the transfer to another world goes hand to hand with the fatigue, or it may be because I walked a lot that now I'm tired. I threw myself on the bed as if I had collapsed, and suddenly I fell asleep. 40 Chapter 5. Here it is, the Adventurers Guild. It was morning when I woke up. I was really tired, seriously. As I was sitting on the bed, I checked my status, and then I tried using the space bag. At that moment I realized that what happened it wasn't a dream. I heard the sound of a knock. Coming, coming, I get off of the bed and I opened the door, and there it was, the figure of a girl. Excuse me, I made you wake up. I'm sorry. A girl in braids with folded hands in front her chest was standing there, nervously. Her voice is also tense. No, I'm okay. I was awake from before. What happened? I answered dazedly while forcing a smile, and then I recalled that this girl is the daughter of the owner of this inn and that her name was Marie. And even though she looks like she was a child from some elementary school, this girl who looks really timid was the one which greeted me at the counter. It's almost time for breakfast. I didn't want to bother you calling so early in the morning, but you didn't come down for dinner yesterday, so I thought you might be hungry. Ah. That's right, yesterday I fell asleep without having dinner. I didn't worry so much because I saw many guests going out without eating their dinner, but she came here just because she was worried. 41. Thanks, Marie-chan. I'm really hungry, I'll go down to eat in a moment, thank you very much. Father, Eiji said that he will eat. As the expression of Marie becomes bright, she quickly descends, heading towards the innkeeper whom it should be preparing the food. I paid the lodging with meals included with the intention of eating here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I'm going to eat. The breakfast was pan and a soup similar to a stew and also some fruits. Having a somewhat large and warm soup with vegetables makes me happy. The pan was a bit hard, but like Marie said, to eat it with the stew was a good idea. It had become a exquisite food with the softness and its piercing flavor. When I bit the sausage that was inside of the soup, it was filled with meat juice, a concentration of flavor. I thought it was a good point. And because I slept without eating anything, I finished eating everything in a blink of an eye. Oops, there's something I must do before. Ah, Marie-chan, there is something I want to ask you. It is okay if I do that. After finishing eating my breakfast, I stopped Marie when she was about to clean the table. Yes, what do you want to ask me? I was thinking if you know where the Adventurer Guild is. Yesterday, when I was aimless wandering and gathering information, it turns out that by chance I heard about the existence of the Adventurers Guild. It seems that many of the people who went to the labyrinth are affiliated with the guild. 42. There is a variety of requests, and you can also earn some money, and because I thought that it is likely there wouldn't be something more sweet than that for me, I thought about going today. Yes, I went many times to that place. It's more, adventurers who are registered in the Adventurers Guild are staying in this inn. You can leave it to me, it's because I'm relying on her that she answered in a vigorous way. I asked Marie the way, and after I said, the breakfast was delicious, thanks, we separated. I head towards the Adventurers Guild. I lost my way. I'm sure I'm going in the direction that Marie told me, but I don't see anywhere the shadow or the figure of the Adventurers Guild. And though I didn't have a bad sense of direction. While walking in doubt, I passed through a theater, a plaza, a magic tools shop, a workshop, many types of different buildings. This is a quite splendid town. It seems that I'm not going to have any inconvenience living here. It's really good that I have found this type of town. Returning to the main issue, this is not the time to be rejoicing in this way. Where is the Adventurers Guild? After roaming around for a while, there was no sign that I would find it. I gave up, and I decided to ask someone the way. I found someone that seemed to belong to the Adventurers Guild, and when I raised my voice towards the girl which was holding a sword, surely that person was registered in the Adventurers Guild. 43 and gladly answered me. But the Adventurers Guild. That is, in the completely opposite side. You said the opposite, I have to go backwards. I stupidly said that after hearing such unexpected words. The adventurer nods, laughing. There isn't another way to say it, right? The Adventurers Guild is. She explained to me, but it was as she had said, in the complete opposite direction. The east and the west were reversed completely. But I'm sure that I went for the way that I was told. It can be that Marie-chan has no sense of direction. Well, now that I understood how to go, let's go forward. I said thanks, and when I was about to continue, somebody called me to stop. I will guide you, so you don't lose your way, eh? No, you don't have to do you don't have to be worried. I also have business there, and also as a senpai from the Adventurers Guild I need to be kind towards the rookies. The adventurer hits my back while speaking cheerfully. Well, if you say that to that extent, then I will have to accept your help. Also, I don't like being lost. I thank her, and then I walk together with that female adventurer up to the Adventurers Guild. The name of the adventurer was Vale. She has a silvery short hair, is bright and seems to have a cheerful 44 face, her eyes and mouth are big, in short, she has an easygoing personality. Actually, when she heard that I just came to this town, even though I didn't ask her to do it, she acted as a tour guide and introduced me various places. That eating place is cheap and delicious, that shop of there is expensive and has a poor quality facilities, so it is better to not buy anything there. She is very helpful, but she also seems to be a meddlesome character. Under the mantle she is wearing, she is dressed with a short pants and a shirt. A light equipment. A swordsman or a thief, it is likely she is one of those two types. She gives the feeling of being skilled, and also of being an adventurer for many years. While I was immersed in my thoughts, Vale started to talk, her body seems like it is getting fuzzier as she walks. That reminds me, Eiji wants to register as an adventurer, right? Yes, that's right. I'm thinking of being here for the moment, so I want to try various things. What's your occupation? I'm trying to be an adventurer. No, an adventurer is an adventurer, but I'm asking you what you do other than that. I have a special occupation, but there are many who have second job, that's different from a class, right? Of course. A class is a class, and a job is another thing. Maybe it is a nuisance to you that I'm asking you these things, but a class is something that determines a person's talent. For example, the job of the owner of that store is of course, managing his own magic tool shop, but his class is magician. There are many who makes a living using their class or jobs, but nobody is equal. 45 I understood, a class is like your aptitude. Having one helps, but that to be useful to a job it is different. It's like an excuse to say that it is different to your talent. Even if you say that you are an adventurer, it is like a part-time job. Maybe you have confidence in your strength and you use it for a side job, like a student earning pocket money. It's in general like a freelance job, so there are many different types of people. I'm one of them too. I used to be a blacksmith, but even so I always went to look for materials on my own, and at the same time I accepted requests from the Adventurers Guild to earn a bit more of money. At that time I thought that maybe I was fit to be an adventurer, and now I'm a full-fledged one. Eiji, what are you doing? You are in the middle of something. I'm. Before I was, well, a neat, yes. I'm sorry, a neat. I had never heard about such a job. What do you do in that job? Or it is a peculiar job of your hometown. What you do in that job? It is hard to say it, even I don't want to explain what it is. A neat. It's bad in the eyes of the society, I don't want to say it. So I thought, I don't have to say it if I don't want, it is more, even if I say it, the people of this world would not understand. I have predicted that she wouldn't know, but it useless for the me who can't hold a conversation. For several years I didn't belong to any community and I almost had no discussions with others. Even if I had become bad in having conversations, it is not my fault. It's not my fault that I'm angry with her for making me remember such things, but let's explain to her anyways. When I was immersed in my thoughts 46, it is alright, you don't have to say it if you don't want. I'm not trying to force you to tell me if you don't want. But you know, there are many different types of people in the Adventurers Guild. Because anybody can do it as long as they have the ability. It's enough if you have motivation. I'm saved. However, I don't think it is good idea to make the people think that it is something I can't say. Perhaps this is the cross that a need has to bear. This is a painful world. Here it is, we have arrived. Oh, here it is. After walking a little, in front of us a large building appeared. Even though the dirty and broken outer wall sticks out, what's more outstanding is the atmosphere. It is like it were the nest of ruffians. After I made up my mind I entered. 47 Chapter 6.